Today we're going to talk about writing systems of equations. We talked about writing systems of inequalities last week. So we're just going to do a little review of that, graph the linear inequality, and identify a point. So remember, when we're graphing inequalities, we have to make sure that our equation is in y equals. So to do that, we have to start by moving our x over. This happens to be a positive 5x. So we're going to subtract it. And now this is a division because we want the y alone on this right or this left-hand side. So on this right-hand side, we're going to divide everything by -4. We do not change the sign of the number when we are dividing. Now, we did divide by a negative, so we do have to change the sign of the inequality. A -20 divided by a -4 is a +5, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So our slope is 5/4, and our b, or our y-intercept, is +5. So we're going to start by graphing our y-intercept at 5, going up, and our slope is 5. So we're going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is an extra line underneath this, so this is a solid line. And it is greater than, so we're going to shade above. So any coordinate within that is going to be a solution to our inequality. So we could pick, and including on this solid line. So maybe we pick probably 2 and this is probably, 8. So if I'm going to pick 2, 8 as a solution, I can double check that in my calculator. This is my x and this is my y, so I can plug in 2 times -5 minus 4 times 8 is my y, is less than or equal to 20. So -10 minus 32 is less than 20. You could also put this in your yellow calculator, and it will tell you true or false. So -42 is in fact less than or equal to 20. So that would be a solution. As we talk about systems of equations, a system, just like when we did inequalities, is more than one. This is going to be an equation instead of an inequality. A system of linear inequalities is more than one inequality. So the difference is that one has an equals and one has an inequality symbol. Standard form ax plus by equals c will involve 2 different quantities with associated values. So we're going to have 2 things that we are trying to find the value of. And slope-intercept form y equals mx plus b will involve a rate of change, which is our m, and a starting value, which is our b. So when we're writing today, things to pay attention to, read carefully. We're looking for keywords, each, every, per, for times, total, less than, all of those. Determine what the problem is asking. Identify the variables. What is x? What is y when we're talking about this? And we're going to go from words into symbols. So this says the Smiths and the Jones bought tickets to the Warped Tour. The Smiths paid $162 for, so $162 is going to be equal to 12 student and 3 adult. And when we get a total, we have to add where the Jones paid $122 for 8 student and 3 adults. How much did each student and adult ticket cost? So what are we asking for? We're asking for the cost of each type of ticket. Identify the variables. So what do we want x to be? Well, student was first. Let's go with that. It doesn't actually matter as long as you identify it. So student ticket, and y is our adult ticket. So what's our equation? So we're going to write an equation for the Smiths. So it says 162 was their total. We know what total is equals after we add. And they bought 12 student, but instead of student, I'm going to use X because that is my X, plus 3 adult, so 3Y. So however much an adult ticket times 3, and how much a student ticket times 12 gives us a total of 162. And then for the Jones, they spent $122 for 8 students, so 8X, plus 3 adult also, so 3Y. As we look at this next example, this one's not quite as straightforward as the first one. We have dimes and nickels, so we're talking about money. Is an equal word, 330. Keep in mind, we really want to think about how much a dime is worth. A dime is worth 10 cents, and a nickel is worth 5 cents. When we have questions like this, it says there are a total of 42 coins. So we're going to have to add because there's 42. So we really want to keep money with money in this kind of an equation. Okay, so what are we finding? We're finding the number of dimes and nickels. What are our variables going to be? We can use X and Y. We can also use D and N. You don't always have to use X and Y. So we can say dimes, we can use D, and sometimes it's easier to not use X and Y. Nickels, if you would rather use X and Y, you can. So what are our equations? Well, we have 2 types of answers here. We have a money answer, so we need to have a money equation. And then we have a coins answer, so we need to have a coin equation. So money-wise, we know we have dimes. So if we have like 8 dimes, we would say 10 cents times 8. That would give us our money. So 10 cents times D, however many we have, plus 5 cents for nickels. And if we have 42 coins, that means we're taking however many dimes we have plus how many nickels we have. So this is going to just be dimes plus nickels. So we want to have a money equation and then a total or coins equation. Here we have a word problem. So again, we're looking like we have money and we have copies and we have total. So that tells us we've got adding in there. So we know $6 is being spent, 68 copies. Some of the copies were black and white and the rest were color. And then it tells us in this one, we have black and white cost 8 cents and color was 15. So if you look at these variables in our answers, they are using B for black and white and they're using C for color. So if we write a money equation, I wouldn't even look at these answer choices just yet. I'm going to write a money equation. I know I have $6 and I know that I have 68 copies. So we have a copy equation. How many did we have? So we have black and white copies, and color copies. So we have total of 68. But then we need to put our money here. So we know black and white copies are 8 cents. And we have 15 cents for color copies. So when you look at these answers, look at it real careful. So we know we need money with money. So this first one on A isn't going to work. And this first one on B is not going to work. So notice that we have money, money, money. And then we have money, money, money. The top 2 on C and D are the same as what we have up here. So we really have to pay attention. This says 8 cents for black and white. So the C is not going to work. It needs to be D because those are with the correct variable. So this is an inequality. You've actually been writing inequalities. You did this in 8th grade. A student is ordering a flower arrangement. She can choose any combination of roses and carnations for her flower arrangement, but she does not want to spend, so no more than $30. So I know I can spend exactly $30, or I can spend less than $30. I cannot spend more than $30. Roses cost $3 each. There's a multiply word there. And carnations cost $2 each. And it tells us here, X is for roses, Y for carnations. So you can see I put X where the number for roses is, and Y where the number for carnations is. So 3X plus 2Y is less than or equal to 30. So all of these start out 3X plus 2Y. So you're really looking at these inequalities, and if you don't know less than, remember left hand less than. We have one more example, and this one might involve you using list and spreadsheets. So you can, if you have your yellow calculator, you can do 413 to get the equation of this. I will tell you it is y equals, you could also use Desmos, y equals 5 over 4x minus 2. And then we would also need to write our equation for our graph. So here's my b. My b is 3, so I know I have plus 3. It's a positive slope. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 up, and 1, 2, 3, 4 over. So my slope is 3 over 4. And again, when I look at these multiple choice answers, I need to look very carefully. This first one, A, says 4/5 instead of 5/4. This one says negative 4/5. This one does say 5/4 minus 2, but this one says negative 5/4, so it can only be B. But if you don't pay attention to those signs and when you're writing your equations, this could very easily be one that you miss. Have a great day.